Hello again. Now, I'd mentioned in my last video that I wanted to take Jan up to Three Corner Rock. It's been about 6 years since we've been up here. Here we are bombing up Highway 14 up the gorge. Another great day in July. This is a really nice road. They just finished modifying some of the curves. This is Cape Horn. I always wonder when we come past here how many places on the planet are named Cape Horn. There's Beacon Rock right up there, up ahead. So we'll take this turn at the ranger station and whip about a mile and a half, maybe 2 up here to the end of the gravel. Give a quick consult to the GPS and make sure I set the traction mode to mode 2, and we're good to go. First couple miles, you're in the trees and climbing. Pretty good road. They've been doing some logging up here recently, so it's pretty well graded. A little bit of loose stuff in the corners, and it does smell nice up here. Carry on for a while. Riding's really easy for this first part, although you're climbing the whole way. Here's our first branching. Takes me a minute to figure out which way we want to go. And the road gets a little worse along here. We run into some rocky patches, but this is nothing compared to what we get into later. And there's microwave towers up on the top of these hills, so there's power and power lines all the way up. So this is where they've been logging. You can see the towers. I should have turned right here, and that road will lead us around, but instead I take the logging road, and this is pretty silty, loose dirt. There's a log skidder. And so we're out here cruising around in their logging zone. Fortunately, there's nobody up here today. There's a bunch of logs. And we take this left-hand route. We should have gone right, and that would have put us back on the road. So we go down that way for about, a mile, and run into a locked gate. So we turned around, came back. And cruise around this way. I really am glad I got the belly pan on this thing, because throughout this video, later on, you'll hear all the rocks bouncing off that thing, and I hate to think what my bottom of my engine, the engine cases, would look like if I didn't have that. I think we're probably around 3,000 feet or so, about 3,700 up here at Three Corner Rock. So now things are starting to look a little familiar. I remember this intersection. And the last time we were up here, we were with my friends Gary and Lon. Oh yeah, this gate looks familiar. And there was big mud puddles up here in the middle of the road. And Lon was on his KLR. I don't remember what Gary was riding. KLR 650 or... Yeah, he might have had his green KLR at that time. Anyway, we got up to about here where these turns are and this rocky stuff. And there was 3 other KLR riders up here that Gary had met on Craigslist and mentioned that we were taking a ride up this way. Oh yeah. That's some rocky stuff. Now my wife's a super trooper on the back of this thing. We've ridden enough together to to know what to expect from each other, but still, this is probably about the most adventurous she's ever been off-road. And there's about a mile and a half of this kind of big rocks. Oh. Yeah, I'm digging it. It's a fun ride. It really is. And you're not in too much trouble. I mean, you're out here in the boonies, but you're not that far from civilization. And there is a hiking trail, and usually there's people up here. And we did run into a couple hikers up here. I posted some video or pictures on Facebook and shows the hikers. But it's just an amazing view up here, because this ridge remains pretty much these small alpine trees, subalpine trees. And because of the microwave towers, here we are, crested the first part of the ridge.
So, St. Helens, Rainier, Adams, Hood.
A little geography lesson for you there. But because of the microwave towers up here, the roads are kept open. Not necessarily all winter, but they open pretty early in the spring so the guys can get up here and do maintenance. And any washouts and stuff are always repaired, so it's pretty sure that you can get up here most of the summer. So that is Three Corner Rock. Gary tells me that his brother used to work. There used to be a fire lookout, and his brother manned it for a couple summers up here.
Good old photo op here.
And
this is the view from the top. So you got Adams, Rainier, St. Helens. Oh, it's quite the view.
Fat old man panting at the top.
Columbia River. And those are the other towers that we came past on that other road. And then you got Hood. Here we go.
Jan decided she didn't want to climb up to the top of the rock. She doesn't do very good with edges. And here we are on the way back down. And down over bumpy stuff is extra fun.
This is the part that's a little rocky and rough. I'm fine.
So, Jan had a great time. I had a great time. See you next time.